Section 13. 5% of the gross proceeds received by the board for the sale of power generated at dam number 2 or from any other hydropower plant hereafter constructed in the state of Alabama shall be paid to the state of Alabama, and 5% of the gross proceeds from the sale of power generated at Cove Creek Dam, hereinafter provided for, or any other dam located in the state of Tennessee, shall be paid to the state of Tennessee. Upon the completion of said Cove Creek Dam, the board shall ascertain how much additional power is thereby generated at dam number 2, and at any other dam hereafter constructed by the government of the United States on the Tennessee River, in the state of Alabama, or in the state of Tennessee. And from the gross proceeds of the sale of such additional power 2.5% shall be paid to the state of Alabama, and 2.5% to the state of Tennessee. These percentages shall apply to any other dam that may hereafter be constructed and controlled and operated by the board on the Tennessee River, or any of its tributaries, the main purpose of which is to control floodwaters, and where the development of electric power is incidental to the operation of such flood control dam. In ascertaining the gross proceeds from the sale of such power upon which a percentage is paid to the states of Alabama and Tennessee, the board shall not take into consideration the proceeds of any power sold or delivered to the government of the United States, or any department or agency of the government of the United States used in the operation of any locks on the Tennessee River, or for any experimental purpose, or for the manufacture of fertilizer, or any of the ingredients thereof, or for any other governmental purpose, provided that the percentage is to be paid to the states of Alabama and Tennessee, as provided in this section, shall be subject to revision and change by the board, and any new percentages established by the board, when approved by the President, shall remain in effect until and unless again changed by the board with the approval of the President. No change of said percentages shall be made more often than once in 5 years, and no change shall be made without giving to the states of Alabama and Tennessee an opportunity to be heard. Section 14. The board shall make a thorough investigation as to the present value of dam number 2, and the steam plants at nitrate plant number 1, and nitrate plant number 2, and as to the cost of Cove Creek Dam, for the purpose of ascertaining how much of the value or the cost of said properties shall be allocated and charged up to 1. Flood control, 2. Navigation, 3. Fertilizer, 4. National defense, and 5. The development of power. The findings thus made by the board, when approved by the President of the United States, shall be final, and such findings shall thereafter be used in all allocation of value for the purpose of keeping the book value of said properties. In a like manner, the cost and book value of any dams, steam plants, or other similar improvements hereafter constructed and turned over to said board for the purpose of control and management shall be ascertained and allocated. Section 15. In the construction of any future dam, steam plant, or other facility, to be used in whole or in part for the generation or transmission of electric power, the board is hereby authorized and empowered to issue on the credit of the United States, and to sell serial bonds not exceeding $50 million in amount, having a maturity not more than 50 years from the date of issue thereof, and bearing interest not exceeding 3.5% per annum. Said bonds shall be issued and sold in amounts and prices approved by the Secretary of the Treasury, but all such bonds as may be so issued and sold shall have equal rank. None of said bonds shall be sold below par, and no fee, commission, or compensation whatever shall be paid to any person, firm, or corporation for handling, negotiating the sale, or selling the said bonds. All of such bonds so issued and sold shall have all the rights and privileges accorded by law to Panama Canal bonds, authorized by Section 8 of the Act of June 28, 1902, Chapter 1302, as amended by the Act of December 21, 1905, Chapter 3, Section 134 Statute 5, as now compiled in Section 743 of Title 31 of the United States Code. All funds derived from the sale of such bonds shall be paid over to the corporation. Section 16. The board, whenever the President deems it advisable, is hereby empowered and directed to complete Dam Number 2 at Muscle Shoals, Alabama, and the steam plant at Nitrate Plant Number 2 in the vicinity of Muscle Shoals by installing in Dam Number 2 the additional power units according to the plans and specifications of said dam, and the additional power unit in the steam plant at Nitrate Plant Number 2. Section 17. The Secretary of War, or the Secretary of the Interior, is hereby authorized to construct, either directly or by contract to the lowest responsible bidder, after due advertisement, a dam in and across Clinch River, in the state of Tennessee, which has by long custom become known and designates as the Cove Creek Dam, together with a transmission line from Muscle Shoals, according to the latest and most approved designs, including powerhouse and hydroelectric installations and equipment for the generation of power. In order that the waters of the said Clinch River may be impounded and stored above said dam, for the purpose of increasing and regulating the flow of the Clinch River and the Tennessee River below, so that the maximum amount of primary power may be developed at Dam Number 2, and at any and all other dams below the said Cove Creek Dam, provided, however, that the President is hereby authorized by appropriate order to direct the employment by the Secretary of War, or by the Secretary of the Interior, of such engineer or engineers as he may designate to perform such duties and obligations as he may deem proper, either in the drawing of plans and specifications for said dam, or to perform any other work in the building or construction of the same. The President may, by such order, place the control of the construction of said dam in the hands of such engineer or engineers taken from private life as he may desire, and provided further that the President is hereby expressly authorized, without regard to the restriction or limitation of any other statute, to select attorneys and assistants for the purpose of making any investigation he may deem proper to ascertain whether, in the control and management of Dam Number 2, or any other dam or property owned by the government in the Tennessee River Basin, or in the authorization of any improvement therein, there has been any undue or unfair advantage given to private persons, partnerships, or corporations by any officials or employees of the government, or whether in any such matters the government has been injured or unjustly deprived of any of its rights. Section 18. In order to enable and empower the Secretary of War, the Secretary of the Interior, or the Board to carry out the authority hereby conferred in the most economical and efficient manner, he or it is hereby authorized and empowered in the exercise of the powers of national defense and native navigation, and in the control of the flood waters of the Tennessee and Mississippi rivers, constituting channels of interstate commerce, to exercise the right of eminent domain for all purposes of this act, and to condemn all lands, easements, rights of way, and other area necessary in order to obtain a site for said Cove Creek Dam, and the flowage rights for the reservoir of water above said dam, and to negotiate and conclude contracts with states, counties, municipalities, and all state agencies, and with railroads, railroad corporations, common carriers, and all public utility commissions, and any other person, firm, or corporation, for the relocation of railroad tracks, highways, highway bridges, mills, ferries, electric light plants, and any and all other properties, enterprises, and projects whose removal may be necessary in order to carry out the provisions of this Act. When said Cove Creek Dam, transmission line, and powerhouse shall have been completed, the possession, use, and control thereof shall be entrusted to the corporation for use and operation in connection with the general Tennessee Valley Project, and to promote flood control and navigation in the Tennessee River.